Hey yogis, good morning. It's Marilyn. We are trying to take advantage of our last few days here in the Yoga Outback studio. Because of the COVID-19, privates don't want to come over anymore, which is completely understandable, and yoga studios have been shut down. So to try to keep my sanity, I've been trying to keep up with my yoga practice, and there is a need for others who want to practice too at home. So I'm trying to build my yoga library. This is a real quick sequence that I learned when I was going through teacher training. It was designed by Heather Pecora. Hey, Heather. And so I want to give her a shout out. I don't want to steal any thunder. So we're going to get started. It's a real quick yoga practice that if you're pressed for time, you just want to get some yoga in. It takes about 20 minutes. You can stretch it out to 30, even an hour. I've stretched this sequence out for an hour, believe it or not, to beginning yogis, just explaining the poses and postures. So depending on your level of ability, you can move faster or slower. I really like this flow. It gets you moving, it gets you sweating. So let's go ahead and get started. You want to come to the top of your mat, standing in Tadasana, equal standing pose. Your toes are together, heels are slightly apart. If this bothers your low back, or if you're like me and you're having major low back pain, you could always stand with your feet hip width apart. Start to root down into your feet, extending through the backs of your legs, out through the crown of your head. You want to stand up nice and tall. Pick up all 10 of your toes. Slowly lower them down, one at a time, spreading them nice and wide. Start to rock forward, rock back, rock to the right, rock to the left, coming back to center, finding your balance, standing up nice and tall, pulling up on the arches of your feet, engaging your calves and your thighs, engage your pelvic floor, engaging your core, rolling your shoulders back and down, fingertips are reaching down towards the ground, crown of your head's reaching up towards the sky. Lower your eyes down. Consciously start to deepen your breath. Now is a good time to cultivate your Ujjayi breath. Inhale through your nose to the count of 4. Pause for 2. Audible exhale through your mouth as if you're fogging up an imaginary mirror. Pause. Inhale through your nose, warming, purifying your air. Exhale through your nose, this time sealing your lips together. Imagine that there's 2 holes at the back of your throat, feeling a slight constriction as you push your air through those holes. Inhale. Fill your belly rise. Exhale. Fill your belly fall, bringing your belly button back towards your spine. Now continue to breathe like this on your own, focusing only on your breath and your practice. If you have distracting thoughts coming in, that's okay. That'll happen throughout your practice. Acknowledge them and then let them go. Like you're placing them on clouds and they're drifting away. One more full deep breath here. Remaining engaged and active on the outside. Calm, breathing steady on the inside. This is the essence of your yoga, where you're engaged and active on the outside, but calm. Breathing steady on the inside. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly blink open your eyes. We're going to come down onto our mats, coming into child's pose, Balasana. You're on your shins. Tops of your feet are on the mat. Your knees can be hip width apart or wider, depending on your flexibility. Booty shifting back over your heels. Arms are extending out in front of you. Elbows are lifting up. Armpits are pushing down. Your forehead's on the mat. Apply gentle pressure into your forehead to help activate your pituitary gland. By activating your pituitary gland, you're balancing your hormones, regulating your moods. It's a great asana to practice when you first get out of bed. It's going to help stretch your low back, compress your internal organs, so it's great for digestion and elimination. It'll put you into a better mood. So if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, this is going to help with that. It's massaging your heart, squeezing your adrenal glands. So it's going to help build an immunity. Take a few more breaths here in this Balasana, extended child's pose. On your inhale, come back up to neutral spine. And on your exhale, bring your knees in to where they're shoulder or hip width apart. Shoulders are stacked over your wrists, hips are stacked over your knees, tops of your feet are on the mat. Step your left hand out about 5 inches. On your inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky, shining your heart open. And on your exhale, thread the needle, sweeping that right arm through, resting on your right cheek, right ear. Shifting your hips back. It's a nice stretch for your shoulders. It's a good twist. If you want to take it a little bit further, you can always reach around with your left hand, grabbing on your right thigh. It should be comfortable. You shouldn't feel any strain here. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Bring the left hand back to the mat if you took the wrap. And on your inhale, lift your right arm back towards the sky. Exhale, lower the hand down to the mat. Other side, bring that left hand in. Right arm steps out, right hand steps out about 5 inches. Inhale, shine your heart open on the left hand side. Exhale, sweep it through. Thread the needle on the other side. Resting on your ear, your cheek, and your shoulder. Stay here for a couple of breaths before you move into the other variation, if that's calling out to you. You can lift with your right hand, wrap around your back, grab on your left thigh. And breathe. On your exhale, bring your right arm back down to the mat. Inhale, left arm comes up, shining your heart open. And exhale, lower your hand down to the mat. Walk your hands back in so they're stacked underneath your shoulders. Hips are on top of your knees, tops of your feet are on the mat. We're in Asana tabletop. We're going to flow through a couple of cow cats. Inhale, cow pose, Balasana. Lifting your chin and your tailbone, arching your spine, your belly's coming down towards the mat. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Really push the mat away. You're stretching through your shoulders. Inhale, Balasana, cow pose. Exhale, Marajasana, cat. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes on your exhale, downward dog. Lifting your hips up towards the sky. Your chest is coming down towards your thighs. Thighs are internally rotating, so your heels are disappearing behind your toes. Your toes can be touching, or you can have your feet hip width apart. Find what's comfortable for you. It's okay. Grounding down in between your thumb and your index finger. Really root down into the knuckle of that index finger and extend through your arms out through the tops of your shoulders. Root down into your feet. extending through the backs of your legs, out through the tops of your hips, gazing up at your belly button. We're rooting and extending, building strength in our shoulders, stretching our low back and the backs of our legs. Inhale, shift forward, high plank, stacking your shoulders over your wrist, your hips over your toes, engage your thighs and brace your core. Now we're building strength all over the body. Balasana, high plank. Exhale, pull back, downward dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. We're going to do that 2 more times. Everything's better in 3s in yoga. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Really starting to build some heat in our practice here. Exhale, bring it back, downward dog. Last time, inhale, shift forward, high plank. And exhale, bring it back, downward dog. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Now here, you can throw in a couple of push-ups, chaturangas, back to high plank, chaturanga, high plank, or you can come down on your elbows, back up to your palms, and do that a couple times if you want to build some strength in your core. Otherwise, you can just lower all the way down on your exhale, resting on your belly, your chin, or your forehead. Palms are sliding back towards your low ribs, so your elbows are stacked over your wrists, tops of your feet are on the mat. The tops of your feet are on the mat so much, pushing into the mat so much that your knees and thighs are lifting off the mat. On your inhale, Bhujangasana Cobra, lifting your chest and shoulders off the mat. Try not to apply any weight to the palms of your hands. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift. Try to float your palms off the mat this time. Really engage in your back body. We're building strength in our back. It helps to build strength in our core. Exhale, lower down. Resting on your left cheek. Your arms are coming down by the sides. Big toes touch, heels fall out, or you can bend at your knees and windshield wiper out your legs to help release your low back. Wherever you're at, you're breathing. Feeling your heart beating into the mat, it's letting you know you're here, you're present in your practice. Inhale, find stillness if you're moving your legs around. Exhale, bring your head back to center, resting on your chin or your forehead. Interlace your fingers behind your low back, and on your inhale, Shalabhasana. Bound locust, lift your head, chest, shoulders, and legs off the mat. We're going to hold here 3 breaths. Try to lift your palms away from your low back. You can bring your toes to touch, but only if that doesn't bother your low back. Inhale, lift a little higher. And exhale. Last time, inhale. Try to pull another set of ribs off the mat. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful work. Inhale, bring your hands by your sides. Tuck your toes. You can either push up to a high plank, back to downward dog, or you can come to your knees and come back on your downward dog. Inhale, gaze forward. Bottom of your exhale, take baby steps to the top of the mat. Inhale, heel toe your feet apart. And on your exhale, ragdoll, bending your knees, you're resting your chest on your thighs, grabbing onto opposite elbows. Your head and neck grow heavy. Try to switch the weight to the balls of your feet. You can sway gently from side to side. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Anytime you place your head below your heart like this, it's very calming for your parasympathetic nervous system. Calms the mind, relaxes the body. It's an inversion. So if you can't take headstand, if that's not your practice, you're going to get the same benefits in this ragdoll as you would in headstand. Your heart doesn't have to work so hard to pump the blood. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring your hands to your hips. Slowly rise with an elongated spine. Exhale, bring your toes to touch, hands to heart center for Samasthiti. We're going to flow through 3 Surya Namaskar-A's on your inhale. Arms lift above your head, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms touch, gaze up, lean back, press your pelvis forward for a little bit of a back bend. If this bothers your low back, you can always stand tall with your arms cactused. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Arms are extended out to your sides. You're hinging your hips, coming down with an elongated spine, leading with your heart. Fingertips touch the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. You can put your palms on your shins. Really encourage, lengthen your spine. Let your shoulders come away from your ears. It's like you're trying to push with the crown of your head into the wall that's in front of you. Exhale, Uttanasana. Stepping back and flowing through your first flow of the practice. Chaturanga Dandasana, you want to shift forward 1 inch, slowly lowering halfway down so your shoulders are in line with your elbows. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, up dog. Flip the tops of your feet. 4 points of contact. Palms on the tops of your feet. Chest is pushing through the shoulders. The full expression of the posture, your gaze is up at the sky. It's like you're howling at the moon. Exhale, pull back. Downward dog, rolling over the tops of your toes or just flipping your feet. 2 more times. Inhale, gaze forward. Bottom of your exhale, step or flip to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms touch, gaze up, lean back, press your pelvis forward. Maybe go a little bit deeper this time. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, leading with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back and flow. So you have choices in your flow. You can flow through Chaturanga Dandasana to Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, back to Adho Mukha Shavasana. Or you can flow through knees, chest, chin to cobra. Inhale, gaze forward. Bottom of your exhale, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms above your head. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step back and flow. Your choice of flow. If you want to do Ashtanga, you're going knees, chest, chin. Inhale, Cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, Downward Dog. So that's a different variation. Or you could flow through Cow-Cat. Sometimes if your back isn't feeling it or you're having some shoulder pain, you could always flow through a couple of Cow-Cats. If you don't want to build heat in your practice, you could always just come down in Child's Pose and rest in Child's Pose. So now we're going to flow through some dancing warriors. Inhale, right leg lifts, Ekapada Adho Mukha Shavasana. Setting up your one-legged dog here. Your foot is flexed. Thighs internally rotating towards the midline of the body. Chest is lowering down towards the back thigh. Back heel is lowering down towards the mat. You're grounding down in between your thumb and your index finger, extending through your arms out through the tops of your shoulders. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. When you step it through, try to land heel toe. That'll add a little bit of core work. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. You're spinning your back heel down, sealing into the outer edge of your back foot, lifting your torso up, stacking your shoulders over your hips, arms are extending out to the side, your palms are facing down. Gaze is falling over your front fingertips. Now check it out here. You need to have your knee stacked over your ankle or your heel. Don't let it go beyond. If it goes beyond, you're adding unnecessary strain to your knee. Keep it tracking over your 2 middle toes. And to keep it tracking over your 2 middle toes, you can try this visualization. I'm super big on visualizations. Visualize you're standing up against a wall, and you have a block on the outside of your knee, and you're pushing that block into the wall so it doesn't fall. So that's how you visualize keeping that knee tracking over your 2 middle toes. Breathe in now. And exhale, extended side angle, Parsvakonasana. Front tricep comes to the front thigh, back arm reaches up and over. Rotating your ribs open, engaging both thighs, embracing your core. For more advanced students, maybe you want to take the Uttatita variation, to where your bicep is coming down towards your ear. You could always lower your hand down to the ground, and maybe take the wrap and the bind. Find what works for you. You want to take it in stages. You want to build up to that. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, back arm, back leg. Top arm reaches up and over. Gazing up at your top fingertips. Maintaining that deep bend in your front knee. Send the breath into all that space you created on your right hand side. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Step back and flow. When you step back, try to lift that foot up without scraping the mat. That's going to help add a little core work. Beautiful. And flow. Full deep exhalation in your Chaturanga Dandasana. Nice. Full deep inhale in your up dog. Don't cheat yourself on your flows. I see a lot of students just rush through it. Take your time. Of course, if you have a limited amount of time, you can always move fast, but just be mindful of your breath. If you lose your breath, you've lost your yoga. Yoga without breath is just calisthenics. So we're cultivating an Ujjayi breath, and we're maintaining that Ujjayi breath throughout our practice. Inhale, left leg lifts, Ekapada, Adho Mukha Shavasana, one-legged dog. Exhale, step it through, tri-line heel toe, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Rotating those ribs open. Breathing into your side body. Make sure your outer edge of your back foot's sealed down in. It's parallel to the side of your mat. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Only your torso moves. Back arm, back leg. Top arm reaches up and over. Gazing up at those top fingertips. You can always take a wrap here. You can take it a little bit deeper. Great thing about yoga, as you progress, you can add layers onto the asanas to make it a little bit more difficult. But remember, you want to practice with steadiness, effort, and ease. Satira Sukham Asanam. Inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Step back and flow. Whoa, so that was a scrape. You want to try to get away from those scrapes. My back is so sore. And it's probably from a weak core. We're going to flow through the dancing warriors one more time. Breath to movement. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step through low lunge. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Step back, flow through your choice of vinyasa. You can always do one type of vinyasa, one flow, and another type of vinyasa, another flow to keep it interesting. You don't have to follow the same path the whole way. Maybe deviate. Keeps it interesting. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, Partha Konasana. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands down. Step back. And flow. Inhale, gaze forward. Bottom of your exhale, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. You're bending your knees, sweeping your arms back, fingertips brush the mat as the arms come above your head. Shift your hips back, make sure you can see all 10 of your toes. Thighs are squeezing in towards each other. Encourage length in your spine. Palms are facing each other. A lot of people don't like chair. It builds strength. in your low back and in your core. So you really want to concentrate on bringing that belly button back towards your spine to firm up your tummy. And breathe, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, coming into prayer twist. Left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Use that elbow as leverage to help rotate your ribs open. So you can stay here. You want to take it a little bit deeper. Maybe you bring one palm to the mat and lift the other arm. Spreading your arms nice and wide. Otherwise, you can just stay here, breathing. Try to keep your knees level. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, heel to your feet apart. Coming into Padahastasana, gorilla poses, Heather would call it. Lifting up your soles of your feet, you're placing your hands, your palms underneath the soles of your feet. So where your big toes are touching your wrist. It's a great stretch for your wrist. Once I get there, what I like to do is I like to inhale halfway lift again to find length in my spine. And then I exhale, fold. Try not to walk your knees out. Your elbows could be splaying out to the side. You eventually want to rest your chest right on your thighs. Slight bend to your knees. If you have the flexibility, you can try to straighten your knees and bring your head a little bit closer to the ground. Breathe. It's a great stretch for your low backs, great stretch for your hamstrings, and your stretching your wrists. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hold of your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Walk your toes back towards each other. Inhale for chair pose. Sweeping your fingertips back, brushing the mat as they come back above your head. Shifting your hips back. Bringing your belly button towards your spine to help support that low back. Gaze down, make sure you can see all 10 of your toes. Really encourage length in your spine. Palms are facing each other, thumbs are pointing back. Try not to shrug your shoulders up. You want your shoulders to slide down your back so you're making room for your earlobes. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center, coming into prayer twist on the left. Right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. With the strength of that elbow, help to rotate your ribs open. And you can take that variation where you're opening up your arms, or you can keep your palms at your chest, breathing, keeping those knees level. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale for crow pose. Setting up your crow, it's an arm balance. You want your palms on the mat, fingertips spread nice and wide to give yourself a nice base. Squat down, nudge your knees into your armpits. Gazing slightly forward, you want to find cobra action with your back. Looking forward to the trick to this crow. Lift one toe and then the other. If you're solid in your crow, maybe you can hang out there for about 5 breaths. If crow isn't in your practice, you can always meet in yogi squat. Heels are turned in, toes are turned out. Lower your tailbone down towards the earth. Hands come to heart center in Anjali Mudra. Thumbs are gently pushing into the sternum. Elbows are gently pushing into the insides of your thighs. Try to encourage length in your spine here so the crown of your head is lifting up towards the sky. And you're breathing, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Slowly lift your hips up. I like to rock gently back and forth. Heel toe your feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back and flow. Last flow of the practice. Take a couple extra seconds in your up dog to help reset your hips. Inhale, right leg lifts, Ekapada, Adho Mukha Shavasana, one-legged dog. Exhale, step it through for pigeon on the right. Ekapada, Raja Uttanasana. Knee is coming above the wrist. Ankle is coming behind the wrist. Back knee is sliding back, top of the foot is on the mat. So check it out. If you have sensitive knees and pigeon just isn't going to happen for you today, that's okay. You could roll over and take figure 4 on the floor, or you could take square pose. If you can do pigeon, but it still kind of is achy on the knees, keep your heel tucked into your hip crease. That'll take away some tension from your knee. In the full expression of the posture, your shin is parallel with the top of the mat. Before you lower down, slide your palms back towards your hips. Inhale, really expand your chest forward, and then exhale, fold. Coming into your pigeon, you can rest your forehead on your forearms, or you can have your arms out in front of you with your forehead on the mat. Try to apply that gentle pressure into your forehead, activating your pituitary gland. You can always move around in your pigeon to try to find a sweet spot. You don't have to stay still, but if you're holding still, send your breath into your back body, filling your back ribs, rise and fall. It's a nice stretch for our psoas or piriformis muscles. It's a fold, so it's good for our adrenal glands. Builds immunity. Opens up our hips. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, start to unpack your pose. Bringing your torso up. On your exhale, tuck your toes and lift your right leg up. Coming into a one-legged dog. Inhale, bend your knee, open up your hip, small circles with your ankle, one way and then the other. If you want to take wild thing here, if that's part of your practice, you take wild thing. Exhale, level out your hips, lower your leg back down to that other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, pigeon on the left. Ekapada, Raja Uttanasana. Setting up your pigeon, and don't just lower down without extending your spine first. So you're going to extend your spine by bringing your palms back towards your hips. That's your pigeon. Inhale, expand your chest. And then exhale, lower down. Nice long spine when you lower down. You need to keep those hips leveled out. So if your hips aren't level, take a block or a blanket and place it underneath your hip to bring it up and level it out. Breathe into wherever you're feeling tension. So if you're feeling tension on your psoas and your piriformis, or maybe your knee, you want to send your breath into that area. Remember, where your breath goes, your prana flows. Inhale, slowly rise. Exhale, one-legged dog on the left. Try not to scrape them out when you lift that leg up. Adds a little bit of core work towards the end of our practice. Inhale, bend your knee, open up your hips, small circle with your ankle. One way, then the other. Exhale, level out your hips, lower your leg back down to the mat. Inhale, gaze forward. Bottom of your exhale, you can try to shoot your legs through if that's part of your practice, or you can just bring your knees down to the mat. Swinging your legs around in front of you. Coming into a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Paschimottanasana. Sitting up nice and tall, you're rooting down into your sit bones. You want to rock around until you find your sit bones. You don't have to move the flesh away. That's a fallacy. Extending your legs and engaging your adductors, rolling them in on top of each other. Engage your legs so much that you're pulling up on the heels of your feet. Toes are flexed toward your face. This is Dandasana. Palms are back towards your hips. You're sitting up nice and tall. Crown of your head is reaching up towards the sky. Bringing your belly button towards your spine. 2 more breaths here. Exhale, release that. Beautiful. Inhale, Paschimottanasana. Arms come above your head. Exhale, fold. What I like to do is I grab onto my ankles and then I inhale, find cow action with my back, and then I exhale, fold. Inhales are going to bring you length. Exhales are going to bring you depth. So there's a couple of ways you could take your forward fold. You could grab on your big toes with your peace fingers, have your elbows touching the ground, taking the Bikram method. Or if you have the flexibility, maybe reach around, taking the Iyengar method, grabbing onto opposite wrist. Trying to bring your chin or your forehead to your shins. If you're not that flexible yet, you can always maintain a slight bend in your knees, maybe even placing a blanket underneath them. That'll just give you a different stretch. It's going to stretch your hamstrings instead of your low back. Forward folds are really good for you. They're good for your digestion, good for your elimination. They calm the mind, relax the body. It's working on your parasympathetic nervous system. Compressing your internal organs. So you're squeezing everything. One more full breath here. Inhale, slowly rise. And on your exhale, Navasana boat pose. And like I was saying earlier, my back has really been bugging me, so my boat's probably not going to be the prettiest boat. You want to sit up, lean back, bring that belly button down toward your spine. Lifting your calves up so they're parallel to the mat. Your toes are stretched. Try to stretch them like you've got Barbie toes. So you can stay here, holding onto the backs of your thighs. If you have low back pain like I do today, this might be the best way for me to go about it. Otherwise, if you want to challenge yourself, you can always let go of your thighs with your palms facing up. Holding for about 5 breaths. Another variation is to straighten your legs. If you start to shake, that's okay. That means you're working. Listen to me. It's like kale. It's good for you. Another way you can challenge yourself here and take it a little bit deeper is pull up on the corners of your mouth. That's right, friends. Smile. Makes it a little bit easier. One more full breath here. Inhale. And on your exhale, slowly lower all the way down. If this bothers your back, just go ahead and come down on your mat. Full deep inhale in this little mini Shavasana. And exhale, bending your knees, placing them hip width apart. You might want to scoot down a little bit to make sure you're back on your mat. So your knees are bent, hip width apart. Your toes are turned slightly in. Palms and forearms are down by your sides. Start to push your palms and forearms down into the mat and internally rotate your biceps to help release those muscles from your thoracic spine, relaxing your chin, and your throat, and your chest. Maybe you can tickle your toes with your fingertips. On your inhale, bridge pose. Slowly peeling your spine up one vertebra at a time, starting with your hips, low back, mid back, and upper back, pausing at the top, slight tuck to the chin to elongate your neck on all sides, rolling your shoulders under. So you can stay here with your legs nice and active, pushing down to the inner edges of your feet. Or you can interlace your fingers underneath your back, your pinkies pushing into the mat to get a nice stretch along your chest and shoulders. 2 more breaths here. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down, one vertebra at a time, upper back, mid back, low back, and hips. So you could take that bridge pose 2 more times, and maybe on the last time, take a wheel if that's part of your practice, or if you're short on time, just do 1 bridge pose. We're going to take a full deep inhale here. And exhale, bring your knees into your chest, Apanasana, giving yourself a nice squeeze. You can rock gently back and forth, giving your internal organs a massage. Small circles with your ankles, one way and then the other. Finding stillness. Extend your left leg long all the way down into the mat. Right arm comes out, extending from the shoulder, palm is facing down. Use your left hand to guide the right knee across the body, coming into a supine twist on the right. So you can use your foot as a kickstand. Gaze is going to fall in the opposite direction of the bent knee. Or you can put that foot on a block if you can't reach the ground. But just try not to rest it on your lower leg. You want to kick that foot out. It's like your body's making a capital H. Try to focus on keeping your shoulders on the mat, not so much as keeping your legs on the mat, to help facilitate the twist in the upper part of the spine. Twists are super good for detoxifying the body and calming the mind. Inhale. Exhale, bring your knees back into your chest, rolling back onto your back, Apanasana, one more time. It's the outgoing breath pose. So if you feel like you need to let some wind go when you're here, that's okay, it'll happen. That's what this pose is supposed to be doing. Bringing your energy down, Apa means down. All right, find stillness. Extend your right leg long, all the way down into the mat. Left arm comes out from the shoulder, palm is facing down. Use your right hand to guide the left knee across the body, coming into supine twist on the other side. Gaze falls off in the opposite direction of the bent knee. Full deep breaths here. Sometimes it's harder to breathe in a twist. That's okay. Just focus on your breath. Try a visualization here. Visualize you're wringing out a wet washcloth. Getting rid of all the excess water. The same thing you're doing in this twist with the toxins in your body. You're twisting them all out. Inhales are bringing in fresh oxygenated blood. Exhales, removing everything that no longer serves you. One more full deep breath here. And exhale, rolling back onto your back. Extending your legs long for our final resting pose of Shavasana. Your feet are wider than your mat. Palms are down by your sides, facing up. Letting go of your Ujjayi breath. No more breath work. No more pranayama practice. You're just letting it all go. Relaxing your fingers and your toes. Relaxing your shins and your calves. Relax your thighs. Your hamstrings. Relax your hips, your glutes, your low back. Relax your tummy, your shoulders, your rhomboids, your trapezoids. Relax your biceps and your triceps. Relax your forearms. Your wrist. Smooth out your forehead. Bring the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Unclench your jaw. Let it all go. Bring your attention to your heart center, your Anahata chakra. Imagine there's an emerald green orb there, and it's small, about the size of a pea, but it's spinning. And as it spins, it starts to grow, and it gets so big your chest can't contain it anymore, so it starts to spill out onto the floor, turning your floor into a beautiful field of green grass. Visualize yourself laying in this field of green grass. You're staring up at the sky. It's blue with white fluffy clouds floating by. You can hear the birds chirping, the bees humming. You can feel the wind from the butterfly wings as they flap past your face. Start to bring awareness back into your body. Reawakening your fingers and your toes, finding some slight movement. Small circles with your wrists and your ankles, one way and then the other. Gently rock your head from side to side. On your inhale, bring your arms above your head. Give yourself a nice full body stretch like you do when you first wake up in the morning. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest. One final squeeze. You could bring your head up to meet your knees. Oh, that feels so good on my low back. Inhale, right arm comes above your head, rolling off to your right side for a few resting breaths before pushing up into a comfortable seated position to join me in a collective Om. Om is the sound that the universe makes. Its vibration unites us as one sangha, as one community. It removes negativity from a room. It can even help heal. As you rise, find yourself in a comfortable position. Hands are at heart center. Eyes are lowered down. You're either staring at the tip of your nose or the ground in front of you, or you can have your eyes completely lowered down. Inhale through your nose. Audible exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, and then this time we'll Om. Om Mata Yoga Nushanam Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drishtu Savarupi Avashtanam Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. The light in me honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this really short flow. I'm going to try to put some more videos on before we leave.